guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to discuss the two hurricanes that we endured here in Florida recently. Helene, which actually my wife and I were out of town for, so we didn't experience that, but we heard from our neighbors. We were in contact with them, and we didn't lose any power in the community. There was some leaves and stuff like that, but nothing terrific. But Milton, that hit 2 weeks after that, exactly about 14 days after that, was very powerful. And when that came across the bottom of Florida, it didn't come straight across the peninsula. It came up on a northeasterly angle toward us. We're north of Tampa, about an hour, and we're about 15 miles from the Gulf, okay? That's where our community is located. So as it came closer, it was getting stronger, obviously. And so we're on the dirty side of the storm, they call it, and it was very, very powerful winds. We had 80, 90 mile an hour gusts like that. So I was concerned about the big tree in the backyard, but we were all right with that. And a lot of leaves and debris and stuff like that. But we lost power for about 14, 15 hours. That's never happened since we've been in this house 8 years at all, ever. If we lose power, it's for a half hour, 20 minutes, not even. So I said to my wife, let me look into a generator, just in case we have this problem again, which, we're prone to hurricanes down here in Florida, let's face it. So I looked into the Generator system, and they offer, different packages like that, but for this house, it's not a big house. It's only 2,100 square feet with a 2-car garage. It was like almost $15,000. And you pay a monthly fee, a small monthly fee for the app and some of the stuff with regard to, I guess they are in contact with your system somehow. And so I said, that's a lot of money. Forget that. Let me get a portable generator, something around $1,000 to $1,200 max, okay? It doesn't have to be a giant generator, but something that'll take care of the house and the AC, okay? So I looked at Harbor Freight, I looked at a couple other places online, and I saw something I like. We didn't buy it yet. I'm gonna wait till after Christmas, till hopefully there'll be a little bit of sale, and they can save $100 or so. But I'm also going to hardwire it. I'm going to have a dedicated circuit, a double 50 amp circuit, going from the panel box in the garage, above in the ceiling and out toward the side yard, right by the front of the garage, but on the side, okay? So an outdoor plug, in other words. And that's going to be the project for this video, or a couple of videos we'll do in this. And so you'll see me do that. I do have an electrical underwriter's license in the state of Florida, as well as New York. So it'll all be done properly and all dedicated, done to code. So with that being said, please like and subscribe to our channel and stick around. We have a lot to show you. All right, guys, let's go to the panel box here. I'll open it up. It's a 200 amp box, okay? And this circuit down here, it says for heat here, somebody wrote on when the house was built 20 years ago. It's a double 60 amp breaker, but it's not being used because we have a gas-fired furnace, with the AC. And so we don't have an electric heater for heat in the wintertime. So that's a dead circuit. So I have to move this circuit. We're going to move it up to here where these two red dots are, these two knockout panels, and that's going to be up there, okay? All right, so here's the 1/2-inch Kindorf, okay? We call it Kindorf, some people call it other things. It comes in various sizes. It's 1/2 inch high. Some of them come inch high or 1.5 inches or 2 inches high, depending on what kind of equipment you're hanging with. But I'm going to use this, and it's a 2-foot piece. I have two 2-foot sections, and I'm going to cut them 6 inches long. So I need like 6 of these. All right, so it'll be 4 out of here and 2 out of the other one, and it's relatively cheap. But you'll see this goes up in the ceiling, actually attached to the trusses that are running right to left here. Okay, they're approximately 2 foot on center. So these are going to be. I'm going to stagger these to 4 foot. Every 4 foot, I'm going to have a piece of Kindorf, okay? And then there's a coupling that goes with it that you just snap onto here. It holds onto these grooves that are here, okay? And then it comes down and holds the pipe. And it's got a set screw with a nut and bolt. All right, so what I need to do first is drill this hole over here to receive this pipe conduit to go up through the attic, okay? Looks up into the attic. Okay, so this is what's going to start it. This is an access panel from below. This will start it going up, and then it can just come out of here and go up into the box and down to the circuit breaker. And this is what goes out the conduit, EMT, 1-inch pipe conduit that way, okay? So I have to cut that hole first, and then after that I'm going to cut my lengths of Kindorf, 6 inches long, and then you'll watch me install those for the hangers. All right, so I have 6 pieces of Kindorf cut 6 inches, so that I can get a bolt in here and here. I could probably put one in the center and it would hold, but I just want to double it up. And what I did was I bought 2-inch lag bolts, okay, with a washer, because you need a washer, obviously, because of the elliptical shape on the Kindorf, you know, and so it won't go through, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just I marked out some lines here. This line represents the center of the truss, okay, the truss up above the sheetrock. And then this line here, which is faint, you can't really see, is 24 inches off the wall. I'm going to maintain a consistent line of 24 inches off the wall to the side. In other words, it's going to be like this, okay? And that will split that. All right, so I chose a drill bit that is half the size of the lag screw, half, okay? Too big, no good. 24 inches off the wall from this side to the wall, and center line of strut, and this opening where the EMT is going to come will be dead center, 3 inches on center. Okay, let's get the Kindorf up there. Slide it so it goes in. All right, pull it to one side. That'll get me 24. This wood is so dry. It's not easy. All right, so as you can see, that goes up to the attic. I have a 10-inch piece of pipe on that, okay, stubbing up. And then, you know, I'll just connect it. I need about 7 or 8 feet to connect to the paddle box. You'll see also that these 6-inch pieces of Kindorf, the conduit is not always centered, but that gets moved. I don't have everything, you know, secured tightly, so that'll get adjusted when I do the final installation. Okay, so it comes down over here. It turns 90 degrees. And it goes down 90 degrees, if you can see it in here. And it goes down, 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 down to here. All right, guys, the wire's through the wall. We're good and secure inside. Everything's finished inside. Here's the box, okay, 3-prong box. I'll have the description of all this information, all the materials and everything in the description box below, okay, on the video. And so I'm going to install this now. They have knockouts all over the place here. You can't knock it out, no matter how hard you try to bang on it with a screwdriver or whatever. I had to actually drill this out, just to be aware about that. It's a very heavy duty box, but I had to drill this all out. Okay, so I take this apart, okay, and now I'm going to mount it. Stick the wire through. Of course, actually, I don't need as much wire, obviously. I mark out the first hole, and I'll drill it. I'm using 1 3/4 masonry screws. That's secure, it's not going anywhere. And when you wire this up, it's very simple. This is the ground wire, obviously. And on the box is 2 terminals up here for the ground, and the ground that's on here, the exposed copper. And then it's very easy. You have black wire, red wire, white wire, and you tighten it with this. Make sure you leave yourself enough room in here. When I splice this in, I have a little bit of room to play with a 6 wire. When you cut this wire, give yourself about 1 foot. You're not going to use all of it, obviously, but try to wrap this around, coil it around once so you have room to play in the box. Because the depth of this is not going to reach all the way to the back. In other words, you have this much room back there to play with. So you'll have to do the coil. I'm going to coil them all up like this, right? I'm going to put the grounds together first, and then I'm going to cut and splice the red, the white, and the black wires, and then install them in here really tight. And sometimes you need to use this to push them in there, because 6 wire is very stubborn. So just to help you a little bit for that. All right, so the first thing I did was I hooked up the ground wires. this one here and this one here, onto these screws over here. All right, everything is installed properly. There's a green light here, indicator light, that when it's plugged into the generator and power is on, this light will illuminate green that it's on, that there's actually power there, you know. You lift this up, 3-prong, okay? It's all good, nice and tight and neat. And this is finished. You don't have to caulk around here because the top overlaps the back, and so there's no water that'll get in there. It's pretty watertight, okay? It's very watertight, actually. All right, so what I'm going to do now is install the breaker interlock kit, okay? That's what it is. There's 2 pieces here. I took it apart. This is the bottom piece first, and then this piece goes on top, and with these screws and nuts, they will secure to the panel itself. Okay. All right, they're tight. This will slide up and down. Obviously, the main breaker is down here, and the double 50 amp breaker dedicated for the generator is going to be here. All right, the first thing we need to do is take this double 60 amp breaker. It's for heat. It's for actually electric heat, for the heat in the furnace. We don't have that. We have gas-fired furnace. So this actually is always off, but this has to be relocated to up to here. The new double 50 amp breaker dedicated for the generator alone has to go here. So it's interlocked with the main breaker. Don't have to go too deep with this when you cut it, just touch the surface of it. And it'll tear. Strip it back. It's shielded wire, it's like Romex. And it's okay in Florida to install it inside the conduit. But I had to buy 1-inch conduit, and still it was hard to pull. It wasn't bad with the straight ones, obviously. The sweep elbows weren't too bad, but when you get to the ones where the 90 degree for a access door on it, they were tough. All right, so now that we have the ground wire installed and the neutral white wire installed down here, now we're going to install the hot legs. There you go. Stubborn. All right, here we go. Let's come to length. The top one first. You get the needle nose pliers in there, which helps you. Okay, we're good. Now we can close it up. These panels are not so easy to put in, assemble, install, because you have to find a happy medium. The panel's twisted, you know. So I do the 2 sides first. And I don't bring them all the way tight until I have all the other 4 in. Hey guys, there's something I'd like to show you in the garage. There'll be some helpful tips with regard to the panel box. Let's go in the garage. Alright guys, so back in the garage again. As you can see, all the labels with regard to the circuit breaker numbers and the corresponding breakers with what's on those circuits itself with a breaker directory, nice and neat. Now this box is as old as the house. It's 20 years old, and there were old labels on this that were written by hand by some worker in the field, okay, some electrician, and it was kind of sloppy, so I cleaned it all up. How I did that was to get the old stickers off that were, like I said, 20 years old on it, baked on there. I had a hairdryer, and you want to loosen up the glue that's behind there, okay? And I put it really close, on high, and I have a scraper with a blade in it, okay? And I would take my time and go right down, keep the steady pressure all the way down, and little by little you would get it. Now, I took my time. Each side took me about 10 minutes, so you just have to take your time and make sure you do it correctly and get all the label off it. What happens is it leaves a little residual of glue from the sticker on the back. So what I use is a Scotch-Brite doobie. It's called a doobie. You can get this in a regular supermarket. And it's a sponge, but it's plastic. And it has a little bit of an abrasive on it, but it won't scratch anything. And so I took Fantastic and I sprayed it on here a little bit. And then used elbow grease with 2 fingers. And I got the rest of the glue off. You just have to keep going at it and, you know, get every little piece of it. It might take you 5 to 7 minutes on each side to get it all off, and then take a paper towel and then dry it all off and do the same thing on the other side. When it's finished, it's just like this. It's perfectly brand new. And I was able to install all these numbers on here with the corresponding circuits and make the breaker directory. And that's how I did it. Just a helpful little hint with regard to taking off stickers. You don't want to do it without heating it up first, because if you do it like that, you're going to be scratching everything, and it's going to be very hard for you to do it. So the key is this on high, really close. Take your time, no rush, and you'll see how it starts to roll off. It actually rolls up as you go down, and it works really, really great. Just another helpful hint for you. All right, guys, here's the finished product. And the conduit swings down along the wall over here, and it goes out to the plug in the side yard. All right, guys, regarding the Generator Breaker Interlock Safety Kit, okay, I found this company online called Gen Safety, located out of Michigan, and the owner's name is Jim. Nice guy to deal with, okay, pleasant and very informative. It's a quality product made in the USA. This was $69 delivered to the house, because I had to have a special kit made for this, because this is recessed a ½ inch, okay, and a lot of panel boxes have this flush. But in this case, I had to send him a picture, and then he hooked me up with the right one right away, okay? I had it sent to the house, no problem. I highly recommend this product if you decide to go this route with regard to the generator and wiring it in properly, okay? We ask you to please share your thoughts and comment down in the description box below. We'd really appreciate it. We truly hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.